Hello there, and welcome back to Dr. Robotnik's Ring Races. It's been a while. In the last episode of this playthrough, I made my way through the Mega Cup, which wasn't the most enjoyable experience. As it turns out, expectations for track design have increased since Super Mario Kart released in 1992, so putting your off-brand clones of courses from that game 3/4 of the way through the Grand Prix really makes them stand out, and not in as charming a way as Kart Crew likely hoped. This time, I took on the Phantom Cup, strangely appropriate considering my most recent video, and in honour of the reality manipulating effect of the ruby it's been named after, I felt it was time for a little experiment. I know that I said I'm ride or die for my Class I metallic heavyweights for the entirety of this playthrough, and I promise that I'm still loyal to them. But I did unlock Sado during a stream, and he can be edited to perfectly match the channel's colour scheme, so just this once, I'm making a change. I promise I'll be back, Mechasonic. Just let me finish this one cup and I promise I won't even think about playing as any other racer ever again. Wave Crash Dimension Act 1 is a deceptively simple 5-lap course. It's a jump, 2 turns, then a water slide, and a final straight. Can't be much to it. Well, let me give you some advice for a more optimised race. First, actually take the sneaker panel near the finish line. Don't do what I did and only realise it's there on the final lap, which nearly caused the AI to overtake me on the final few inches of track. That would be really embarrassing. Secondly, use proper slip tiding technique on these 2 turns to speed up your cornering game. Again, don't do what I did and only realise what the game is screaming at you to do on the final 2 laps, losing out on all of that distance you could have been making at the start of the race. That would be very stupid. Finally, use a triangle dash into the water slide to hugely reduce the time taken to make the right angle turn. Once again, don't do what I did and only realise the opportunity the game is practically shoving into your hands as you rewatch your footage when making a script for a YouTube video. That would really put into question your ability to play this game. After such a close race, it was important that Nightfall Dimension Act 2... Actually, wait a minute, start the playback. Before we continue, yeah, every one of the upcoming races, Prison Break Arenas included, is going to be based on the Sonic Mania special stages. The clue was in the name of the cup when looking with hindsight, but it did make guessing what's coming up next a little boring. Dimension Heist is a catchy song, but not good enough to listen to on constant repeat. Anyway, after a close call so early into the cup, I had to up my game to stay ahead of the ever-improving AI. Luckily, Nightfall Dimension won't throw much at you to make that more difficult than it needs to be. Just get your first blood booster right, then drift in the right place to rob your opponents of any chances to get these ring capsules. I find the right path is best for this split in the road, then don't fall off the track during any jumps, and you'll be fine. I certainly did well. The only time I even really interacted with another racer was Sonic knocking me into the second lap, and hitting someone with an Orbinaut long after the race had finished. Fungal Dimension looks pretty intimidating when you first begin, what with all of the target reticles miles above you, but it's actually a really easy arena. The slopes leading up to most of the prisons are pretty massive, but most of them are easy to reach, and this initial look at the level just doesn't have most of the higher levels spawned in, hence the strange floating effect. It might have been an easy level, but never underestimate my ability to mess things up. I lost to a Myceo collecting this CD inside of a circle of mines before ultimately dying trying to turn around while too close to another set. I could have gone the other two prisons easily if I had survived, but it is what it is, I suppose. Void Dance Dimension Act 3 is a tricky one. It's probably the nicest looking track in the cup, but some unquantifiable quality in the course layout was throwing me off. These turns are tight, but they're not too bad. I'm not quite sure what the idea was with how some of these mines were placed, but they're not too hard to avoid. This final section, though, this simple, straightforward drive to the end with nothing but a tight corner to challenge you, yeah, that was what got me. I somehow convinced myself that this was a split path on the first lap, and even though it clearly isn't, I was unable to shake off the feeling that it was missing something for the rest of the race. It didn't really affect my performance, which was all over the place right to the finish line, but deep in my soul, I know Void Dance Dimension is missing something. It's definitely missing my first place at the very least. Cloud Top Dimension 4 is an amazing course. The renderer I use might disagree, seeing as it was constantly showing props on the wrong side of walls and floors for me, but with all of the slopes, sneaker panels, and ring capsules available to you, it is easily one of the fastest tracks in the game. And in 95% of cases, a fast track is a good track. My advice is to figure out the timing for the jackpot bonus in the ring capsules. Unlike the item roulette, the order of the ring bonuses is consistent no matter where in the course you are, so you can easily get yourself in a position for constant, massive paydays. Get it right, and you can even do what I did and outrun an SPB for the entirety of the remainder of the race. I bet whichever AI threw it was fuming. And right after finishing a fantastic race, we move on to one of my newfound favourite Prison Break arenas. Astral Dimension is massive, with a whopping 21 prisons to find and destroy. That would usually be a nightmare, but because of how the arena is laid out and how the prisons are placed, it's just a relaxing and enjoyable drive back and forth. A good place to practice your lobs, long distance accuracy, and any other techniques you might be rusty on. My advice would be to practice using the insta-whip to destroy a few of the prisons. It's something that my stream chat always picks me up on, because I tend to forget it's there in the heat of the moment, but it is fantastic for destroying the long lines of prisons found across Astral Dimension without needing to wait for your Gatsa bombs to return to you. Could save you a good few seconds in a time trial. GravTech Dimension 5 is a strange one. First of all, it's another track that always has a mass AI suicide, because the gimmicks of the course force them into the start line when they do their usual thing of trying to get as close as possible to it. On my first attempt, I joined in because I mistook one of the lines on the map as the start line and assumed it was further into the track than it was. Make sure to pay more attention to these things than I do. The gimmicks here are anti-gravity, which is exactly the same as it is in courses like Death Egg, as well as this water substance, which seems to act pretty uniquely. Basically, as soon as you drive onto it, that's that. You are not getting control of your car to accelerate, decelerate, turn, reverse, etc. until you reach solid ground again. That sounds like it would be pretty cool if used correctly, but in practice, it makes GravTech Dimension pretty boring. You can basically put your controller down for half of the race because of how much of the stuff there is. My first attempt went alright until the third lap, where I got wasted by Echo with a flame shield before falling off the track in a climactic battle for qualification. I did better with a second go around, mostly due to the better routing in the minefield section, although I did embarrassingly miss out on a first blood boost despite being the only racer to not kill themselves immediately. You lose some, you place third in others. Despite my uneven placements, I had done well enough throughout the Phantom Cup to get into Fountain, the Cup's sealed star. I've already completed this one, so I figured that I might as well look at completing a challenge and try and destroy the UFO catcher using only Jaws. This and Balconies are the two best stars to complete that specific challenge on, because of the open track design and plentiful Jaws capsules. But I should probably have left that challenge for another day, because as it turns out, there was another challenge I could have been aiming for. As completed on a recent stream, collecting the emerald on the Phantom Cup unlocks the 2 recycle cups, and while I could have maybe killed 2 birds with 1 stone, on this specific day, I ended up failing to finish either, and just ended up worsening my final rank. With a spread of ranks across the board and a ton of continues used in the sealed star, I was honestly expecting something worse than a B rank. With my failings in the sealed star, I didn't unlock anything exciting, just the next cup and the 2 CDs I found, but that's basically to be expected at this point. I did reveal the criteria for a few challenges, which I've now completed during various streams, so if nothing else to end on, I guess I'll just plug those. I try and stream on every even day of the week, minus a few breaks. It's mostly ring races as I work on slowly completing all of the challenges I have left. At the moment, we've collected all of the spray cans and are now working on finishing the Super Emerald Sealed Stars. So if you want to tune in to watch me being bullied by people who are much better at the game than I am, just be here for these times. I don't know where you live, look for a time zone that you recognise. With that said, the next episode is going to be on the Flash Cup, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and ciao.